There we go. I want to share a little video with you guys.
Our guest speaker.
Our
Our featured product tonight is the Petline product.
Thanks, Mom Victoria, for giving me this great opportunity to speak about the ReAction Petline products tonight. I take the tincture every morning. My brother and sister, Lucy and Larry, who are 17 years old, take the tincture every morning and take a capsule every night. And guess what? Lucy's chasing me around the house again, and all my cousins take the products. Cash the pig, Gristle the cat, Cooper, Winston and Max. They love the products. Thank you, ReAction, for giving us these great products, and we have an endocannabinoid system too.
Well, thank you, Sammy.
And that is Sammy, Nana's dog.
I'm sorry, I love that. That was awesome.
Thank you. She does them all the time.
Okay.
Alrighty, so tonight's Zoom we kind of wanted to dedicate about the endocannabinoid system and a couple different things, because definitely with the endocannabinoid system it's extremely important. So start off talking about what it's made up with, and why is the endocannabinoid important. So number one about the endocannabinoid system is your endocannabinoid system are made up of chemical messengers that tell your brain when to stop moving and when to start moving. Practically controls, everything. So there are different receptors in your body. You have your CB1 receptors and your CB2 receptors. There are multiple different types of CB receptors, but those are your two main ones. Your CB1 receptors control your brain and your nervous system. Your CB2 receptors control your immune system, your gastrointestinal tract, your peripheral nervous system. So that's a little bit of everything. Like, for example, your CB1 receptors control anxiety, stress, insomnia, depression, inflammation, pain, insomnia. Your CB2 receptors control your immune, if you have an immune disorder, blood pressure, diabetes, heart issues, more of your serious, more diseases, that is what that would control. Your whole endocannabinoid system is ran off of balance, which is something called homeostasis. So it's your body's balance. So when your body falls out of balance, your body's not going to be able to be functioning correctly. So for example, homeostasis also controls sleep, hunger, immune functions, pain, appetite, mood, digestive, motor control, reproductive, fertility, pleasure, reward, temperature regulation. So a little bit of everything. And if you just go into those a little bit more, for sleep, for example, there are so many other things that sleep can affect. If you're not sleeping correctly, it can cause your stress to be higher, your blood pressure to rise. There's a lot of different things. So little things like that are actually big things. So your endocannabinoid system, when it is disturbed, it falls out of balance. And with today's everyday life, age, foods, your body's not producing as many cannabinoids anymore. So if your body can't actually correct itself, you're more prone to illnesses and diseases. So you're not going to have that, top health that you would, want. So it's very important to take care of your endocannabinoid system. And right now, there is no other way to help your endocannabinoid system besides taking something like CBD or ReAction. And we're going to get a little bit into different types of CBD products. So, but like one thing that we really wanted to talk about is how important sleep and how important, how important sleep and how important anxiety issues are. So definitely, we do have another PowerPoint that's going to pull up and explain a little bit about what CBD is, the different types of CBD, things to look for when you're buying CBD. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So there are different types of ReAction products that we carry. So for start down the line with the tincture.
Okay, we have the tinctures first.
The tincture comes in 3 different milligrams. 2 different milligrams. Sorry about that. It's 250, 500. 500 and 1,000 milligrams. There's 3 different flavors: blue raspberry, honey, and natural.
Right. And we also have a sample bottle that would be more of a trial sample that you could give to somebody that would give them a 3 to 4 day dose. We've got those in 500 milligrams, and they come in all 3 flavors. And this is for somebody who maybe just wants to try the product and isn't ready to jump all in. They can take this for a few days and see what they think about it. So that's kind of a cool thing to have the samples. And then also we have the 30 ml bottles. And then we have the capsules that are 1,000 milligrams in the bottle. And let's see, you can't see our face? All right, so I can't show them capsules. But with the capsules, Ron and I take the capsules at night, and we take the tincture in the morning. Everybody doses differently. You just got to kind of find what works for you. I really like the capsules. They help us to sleep at night and relax our bodies so we get the sleep that we need. And then we have the topicals. We have 3 topicals: Relief, Revive, and Recovery. Relief being our pain cream. This cream comes in a 30 ml pump bottle. It comes in a salve, and it also comes in a travel size that you could either use as a sample to give somebody that comes with 10 milligrams and or somebody that is going to travel and doesn't want to take their whole bottle in their purse. The Relief, there's several things you can use Relief for. Obviously for spot pain, as some of you might have heard me talking to Melody earlier. If you're starting to get a cold, sore throat, chest is hurting, you can put this on your neck and on your chest like you would Vicks. I've been doing that every day for about a month so I don't get sick. A lot of people are using this for migraines. So you put it across your forehead, temples, on the back of your neck. You can use this for a lot of different things. And then Revive Cream, which is the skincare product, which a lot of people use for anti-aging, eczema, skin diseases, dry acne. Skin. I have somebody that uses this for chemo skin. He's been going through chemo and he was having a tough time with the dry, flaky skin. He uses this and it really cleared him up. Bug bites, bee stings. There's lots of
hives.
Yep, hives. Poison ivy. So that's a good one. And then we have Recovery, which is more for sore muscles, people that might work out.
Construction workers that are constantly joint muscle pains.
And so that's a good one of the creams. And as you can see, we have it in the pump bottle, the salve, and or travel size. So those are the 3 ways you can buy that. We have edibles. We have fudge, chocolates, and caramels.
So the fudge come in 4 different flavors, and they're 10 milligrams a piece. Comes in key lime, chocolate, thin mint, and watermelon. Yeah, the watermelon's really pretty.
And as you heard Melody say tonight, she took a chocolate before getting on the Zoom, and that will just help you. Some people take it if they want to relax when they get home from work, and or take it before they go to bed to help them sleep.
Good dosage for the afternoon.
And then the star of our show tonight is the Pet Line products, and those come in tinctures, capsules, a syringe, which I'm going to show you all about all these products, and it also comes in a salve. The tincture is taken the same way. You can either give this to your dog directly in the mouth if the dog will take it, or I put it on my dog's food in the morning. They take the tincture in the morning.
And that's one thing that we're going to talk about a little bit more in depth on how we use it and the different types of products and how to use the pet products. We're going to get into that a little bit later on in the Zoom.
Right. And so, and this is the same as the adults would take with the syringe. Are we going to go over these products now? No?
Alrighty. So Next about the CBD products is one big thing about ReAction is that we control everything from seed to bottle to you. And why that's important is because with controlling everything, you know where it's coming from, and we have extremely high standards. So we control where the seeds are bought. We control the growing process. We actually manage the entire thing as it's growing. And then the extraction process, the manufacturing process, the sending it off to our third-party testing labs, and then it goes straight to the consumer. So you have more.
Well, we know where our plants are coming from.
You know exactly where it's coming from. So one of the big important things about having a true full spectrum is that it contains everything out of the hemp plant. So terpenes, flavonoids, fatty acids, cannabinoids, traceable amounts of THC, and what that does is it maximizes your benefits, but it also creates something called homeostasis, which is your body's balance. So if your body isn't capable of putting your body into homeostasis, the true full spectrum ReAction products will do that. Because all the other CBD products out on the market, the isolates, the broad spectrums, the distillates, your body's actually not going to be able to get to homeostasis. It also gives you something called the entourage effect, when that means that everything works together and it works synergistically. And another big thing about the ReAction products is we have a patent proprietary extraction processing. So our extraction process is built exactly around how to extract everything out of the plant, because there's a lot of other extraction methods that can't actually take everything out of the hemp plant. So with this, it is patented and nobody has seen it. So there's only been a handful of people that can actually see the machine. So nobody else can take what we have. With this extraction process, it gives you some broken down into cryosonic and nanotechnology. And what that means is your body can absorb 100% of it. So when you're taking ReAction product, your body's going to be able to absorb all the FSC. And that's a really big thing, because a lot of other CBD products, your isolates, broad spectrum distillates, your body's only absorbing around 30 to 50% of them. So get into a little bit about the different types of CBD oils, because there's a lot of people that don't know there are different types. So one of the biggest things is there's 3 different types. There's an isolate, a broad spectrum, and a full spectrum. An isolate is one cannabinoid out of the entire plant. So it's one molecule called CBD, and it's extracted to its purest form, and it looks like that powder form. But when it's bottled, it does look like a clear oil. So it's going to be clear. Usually what they use as their base carrier oil is propylene glycol or vegetable glycerin, which makes that both either sublingual or vapable. That can't give you the entourage effect, and your body's only going to be absorbing around 30% of it. And it's mostly only aiming for your CB1 receptors in your body. You're not actually getting both benefits of both receptors. Then you have your broad spectrum or your distillate. This is what a lot of people are considering full spectrum. And some clear signs is you can actually see it's more of a yellowish, sometimes clear color. It's just cannabinoids. It doesn't contain everything out of the hemp plant, and it doesn't contain all 140 cannabinoids. It only contains the cannabinoids that were, that could be extracted. So you're not getting homeostasis. You're not getting the entourage effect. You're just getting some of those benefits mostly towards your CB2 receptors. Those base carrier oils can be a little bit different. Coconut oil is really, really popular, or MCT oil, what I keep saying a lot of, or some people are just using other base carrier oils. Recently, I saw something with vegetable oil in it, which was very different. So then the true full spectrum. A true full spectrum is extremely hard to find. I haven't found any besides ReAction, but it looks like that black jar. It's actually green, so it's so green that it looks black. If you were to dip your finger in that jar and rub it across your hand, you'd be able to see that it is a green color. So those are little different ways to tell the difference. So things to look for when you're trying to differentiate if it is a actual good product or if it's not. So where it's farmed, that's a very big thing. And why that is because the hemp plant itself is something called a accumulator plant. And what that means is that it sucks everything that's out of the ground and soaks it into the plant. So a lot of people have, it's been known to be used in fields that are high radiation. They go plant hemp plants, and it soaks up all that radiation out of the ground. So knowing where it's farmed and who's farming it and what the standards are extremely important. And that's why it's awesome with ReAction is they have all those farmers under very strict guidelines and probably I'd say over 100 things that they have to test for in the soil that you wouldn't even think about. Another thing is the extraction process. How is it being extracted? Some key ways to tell the difference is if it's there's a couple different ones that I've seen that are popular. CO2 extraction, cold press, ethanol. So what we use is an ethanol extraction processing, and that is the only way that you can actually take everything out of the plant. CO2 extractions are extremely popular right now, but they actually can't take everything out of the plant. So you're only getting traceable amounts of stuff out of the hemp plant. CO2 is usually what you're seeing that makes the isolates, your shatters, and stuff like that. Third-party testing is also extremely important to go on, see their third-party testing, see where the lab's coming from, if it's an actual lab, if it's a reputable lab, just because there is a lot of people that make up COAs, which is the certificate of analysis. It's all the testing done behind each product. And then carrier oils, those are extremely important too, just to see what's actually being put into the oils, because there is some stuff I've seen out there that's pretty crazy. So just look at the different, oils that are being put into it. That's one huge reason about why we love ReAction so much, and that's one thing that we talk about in depth with each product, is the different carrier oils that have been put so much research into what they put in all these. And then manufacturing is a huge one. And why that is where is it being manufactured, what kind of lab it is. With ReAction products, they use an ISO 9001 lab, which are pretty much the highest of high labs that you can get. Because I've had a lot of people almost try to brag to me at my shop about how it's manufactured by their family in their house. So you just want to make sure that it's not being done in a bathtub. So, dosage, that's another big thing that is always asked about. The average dosage is 33.3 milligrams of cannabinoids that you want to consume on a day-to-day basis. Your weight, your size, and your age does not matter when it comes to dosage. It's all about your endocannabinoid system and what your body needs. So, for example, children, have a higher metabolism. So most likely they're going to need a higher milligram. So with how we dose children, I work with a lot of kids that, consume these products on a day-to-day basis. I always suggest 3 times a day. Usually you need something in the afternoon, especially, sending something with them if they are in school, or right when they get after school, giving them an extra little dose. And why that is because their bodies are constantly filtering itself. So you definitely want to make sure that everybody's getting the right dosage. So always start off with the average.
And some people may need less and some people may need more. And then it just kind of comes on you. You got to kind of figure out what is good for you. Like with Ron and I, the capsule at night and the tincture in the morning works for us. But I have some people that just need to take it once a day. And I have some people that need to take it 3 times a day. So you just got to kind of find where that balance is for you. But starting out, exactly what Victoria said, once in the morning, once at night, and that should give you the 33.3 milligrams per day. So that's kind of a good place to start.
So there's different ways to consume CBD. Sublingual is one of those ways. Sublingual means that you take it under your tongue. So doing something under your tongue is the fastest way into your bloodstream. What I consider it is it's more cost efficient for doing a tincture oil. It has long-lasting reactions, but it is the fastest way for you to notice a difference. Then there's capsules or pills. Usually capsules and pills, it takes a little bit longer for you to notice a difference, but it's the longest reacting one. So you are going to notice that lasts the longest. Then there's topicals. Topicals is what you would consider a quick fix. It's absorbed through your skin. It's really good for spot pains, eczema, acne, more of your, skin elements that, we kind of went over with the Revive and Relief Cream. And then there's edibles. So edibles are extremely fast reacting as well. But usually what those are more used for is for your extra dosage. So if you had a bad day or you just want to take an extra, dosage or something whenever you get home and you just want to relax, and edibles are a really good way to get that feeling. And then there's smokable, which could be smokable or vapable. They are extremely fast reacting, but the effects only last you around 30 minutes to maybe an hour. It's pretty short with these kind of products for vapables. So now we're going to get into the pet line, which is the Star product.
The one that Sammy was bragging about to y'all.
All day.
Okay, so first of all, we have the tincture, and it is a 500 milligram. It comes in a natural flavor, and you can give this to your dog right in your mouth. Rachel has a video on her Facebook that she shows giving her dogs this right in their mouth. On my dogs, I put this on their food in the morning. I give a full dropper. I've got Australian Shepherds that are 17 years old, and I squirt that on their food. That's how they take it in the morning. And then we have capsules that you can either give directly to your dog or put in a piece of cheese. This is what I put on my dog's food at night. And I'll show you the capsules for anybody that hasn't seen them. There are these. I think you can see that. Where's the camera at? There we go. Little black capsule, and you can give that to them. And you can give these to them. You kind of can figure out what is a good time to give these to your dogs. If you're getting ready to go out and your dog has a lot of anxiety, or your cat, or whatever your animal, and they have a lot of anxiety when you go away, I would suggest give them a tincture or a capsule before you leave, just so it'll kind of knock that edge off. And then also we have the syringe. Now this lasts longer.
Mm-hmm.
This is got the crude FSC product in it, and I always suggest to people when they start with this, twist this versus push it, because when they first start out, when you go to push this, I'm telling you, you will squirt out half the syringe. So give it a little twist, and they only need, hold on, we'll give you a little example of how much you need of this. Maybe if I can get it to twist. I think mine kind of froze up here.
Well, you're always twisting.
There we go. That's all the more your animal needs per serving.
Rice grain.
Yeah. And so, and then Victoria, you're going to tell them about the
carrier oils and everything that's in them.
Yeah.
So there is the topical as well. That's one thing that we're going to go over a little bit later. But the topicals are something for more for spot, issues. So if there's rashes or an itchy spot that you see that's bothering them, you can just apply that right on their skin or right on their fur or the aggravated area. So one of the biggest carrier oils that is really awesome that all the pet line has is something called phytoplankton. Phytoplankton. I can't ever pronounce it. But it's really extremely healthy for animals. So it's really good for their pet's health, for shiny fur, helps with itching, helps with scratching, helps with less shedding, and it's more nutritional. I can't even talk today. Long day at work. Nutritional than fish and meat that you find. Phytoplankton is actually what whales live off of, and they're actually one of the longest living animals, which is actually pretty incredible. So phytoplankton is extremely healthy for your pets, so that just gives them an extra little boost on why you should probably be giving it to your animals. There's a lot of different omegas in it as well. There's omega-3, 6, 9. There's vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E. It's really good for their immune system, anti-inflammatory, antifungal. And the list goes on and on about these different carrier oils that go in there. And I couldn't even write how many benefits that all those, different omegas and the vitamin A and D and E all have. So when you're giving that to your pet, that you're not just getting them the FSC, you're getting them a little bit of everything. And with, pets, they have an endocannabinoid system too, and dogs and cats, they're most similar to us, but even though we do testing on like pigs and stuff like that, any animal is extremely similar to all of us, and they have an endocannabinoid system, and they run off of homeostasis just as well as we do. So I always suggest, if you're ever noticing anything with your animal, there's a lot of people that I know just started giving it to their pet just for overall health, because there is some people that, started taking these products that claim to have no issues, but they just want to do it for a preventative. And that's always important, especially with your animals, because you want them to have a good life just like you. And like with the older animals, it's not to make your animals live longer, but it's to,
give them quality of life.
Right. That, they'll enjoy. So, for example, my cat, I didn't start her on the product whenever I first started taking it, but I've always thought about it. And she's always had trouble gaining weight. She was the runt, and she was extremely sick when I first got her. We're talking thousands of dollars in the vet. And she never gained a lot of weight. And every time I would shave her, she would look even skinnier and skinnier. And I took her to the vet, and, they're not saying that she's underweight, but I could tell that for an indoor cat, she's not a good weight. And also, she's always had these bad allergy issues. Anytime I would take her outside, she would immediately start this sneeze attack, and she's always had it. She would just start sneezing about a minute in a row without even breathing. And anytime, like direct sunlight, if you're vacuuming, she just has a sneeze attack, perfumes, anything. So I've always been really careful with her. So when the products came out, I started giving her the natural. And, of course, now that the pet line's out, I give her the pet line. And I'm telling you, a complete change in my cat. Now she's excited. I grabbed the bottle that I have on the counter, and she gets all excited because she knows it's dinner time. But I give it to her in the morning, and I give it to her at night. And she's a small cat. Before I started giving her the ReAction product, she weighed 6 pounds. So I'm probably guessing she's up to 8 pounds now. I haven't weighed her yet. I'm actually going to be taking her to the vet here soon. But she's definitely put on a lot of weight. I can tell by just picking her up. And then also it's helped her a lot with her breathing issues, because now we took her camping the other day, and I was really, and I didn't want to keep her inside just because the boys and the girls walking in and out of the door, I didn't want them to leave it open. So I got a little pop-up crate to leave her, be able to watch us outside. And I put her out there, and I was like, let's just see how she does, because usually she just starts having bad allergies issues. She sounds like a duck, and she can't breathe. And I gave it to her, and so she's been on it, and she went outside, never had any issues. So I've definitely seen huge progress.
And the weight she's put on is healthy weight. It's not like
she's
it's
not
made her
overweight.
It was weight that she needed.
Yeah.
That she wasn't getting.
It filled her out.
Right.
Like all of the extra skin, it's all filled out now. So go a little bit more in depth about the topical. There is a base carrot oil that is really good for animals, and it's good with wounds, abrasions, burns, inflammation, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, really good with rashes. There's, of course, the coconut oil in there that is really good for animals as well. It's really good for their fur, for their skin coat. Also anti-inflammatory. Then there's the beeswax that actually makes it, the salve, and of course it has the FSC in there, and it's 500 milligrams.
And your dog, if your dog licks it, it's not going to hurt your dog.
It's safe to put it right on there, and if they lick it up, which some stuff that I've noticed when people have been putting it on their pets, they're actually not licking it off. So that's a good sign.
But there are some testimonies on the Feel the Reaction page that actually have some pictures of day 1, day 2, day 5. And I've seen some of those pictures of people I know, and it's very incredible, especially when you get a dog that with its anxiety or whatever, and it starts getting like a hot spot. Very, very helpful. Great product for that.
So Rachel Atkins asked us a question, said, do animals need an average dosage of 33.3 milligrams too? And that is a very hard question, because the average dosage is something that, you know, has been learned over years and years of people taking hemp, and it's never been a really big thing for people to give CBD and pet products, you know, to their animals. So I've been working, you know, at our shop for over 3 years now, and recently it's been about a year before they started coming out with pet products, and before they came actual popular. It really just depends on the average dosage. I always recommend a little bit less than the average, but it doesn't hurt to start them off at the average. And that's what I recommend to a lot of people. I mean, personally, me, like I said, my cat, probably around 8 pounds now. She's 3 years old, and I give her 2 full droppers, once in the morning, once at night. And that's just so it gets all over her wet food. And I've noticed great benefits.
My
Some
dogs
people
take the same dose that Pappy and I take.
Yeah.
But now Sammy, I give Sammy about a half a dropper.
So Sammy takes a little bit less, and then again, she's a young animal. I just gave it to my cat just because I wanted to start her off with, you know, a good dosage, get her on it, be steady with it for about a month, and then I'll probably lean it back and cut it back just a little bit to see if it's still having the same effects and it works just as well. That's usually what I would suggest starting off with an animal. But the average is probably going to be around 20 milligrams, just depending, as long as your animals, you know, 15 to 20 milligrams is, but if they're sick, really old animals or really ill animals, of course, they're going to probably need more milligrams. So if it's an animal that has cancer, if it's a 16-year-old animal, I always recommend, you know, giving a higher milligram to start off with the average. And if they need more, add more to it.
And, you know, one way to tell if you're giving them too much, they're just going to sleep all day. More than your animal would sleep. You know, that's going to be the worst effect for your animal, is that they're going to sleep more.
Yeah.
And then if you notice that they're sleeping more, back their dose down. That would be a great way for you to be able to tell. But you just got to kind of, as you do for yourself, you got to do that for your animals also. So
yeah. So, I mean, whenever you're suggesting it to somebody, just do like a morning and a night thing. If you want to do a half in the morning, half at night, then they're going to be getting around, you know, 16 milligrams, 16.6 milligrams if you do the tincture oil.
Yeah.
Rachel said that one of her dogs is on a capsule at night and a half a dropper a day of the tincture. So, I mean, that's a good dosage. Like I said, my cat, I have around 2 full droppers a day, 33.3 milligrams, small cat, young cat. And I haven't noticed her sleeping any more than what she normally does. I mean, that's usually what cats do anyways. But she's been a lot more active here recently, running around, jumping on everything, running back and forth, acting like a maniac. So, which is awesome for her, because especially with a cat, she's not hiding under a bed or anything, which is good. So I think we're going to open this up to questioning. Can't even talk today. Questions.
And or testimonies.
Or testimonies that anybody wants to share. This would be a perfect time, because no question is a stupid question. So.
And you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
See, look, Kim's like, and her little puppies, and they're young. I think they're 8 weeks now. She said, my puppies get 1 capsule every morning and one full dropper a night. Puppies are growing, but their anxiety levels are slow. Oh, that's 12 weeks. I was close. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so, I mean, they're getting a high milligram too. So I would that's what I would recommend just starting off with. And just see, start off with the average or a little bit less than average and see if it works for them. So anybody you can actually message in the chat bar if you have any questions, or just talk.
Well, I am driving, so I'm going to talk.
Yes.
And I don't have a question, but I have to tell you, ladies, this is amazing, the information I just received today. This is going to help me. This answers a lot of questions for my clients. I'm just going to hand my phone with this video on it and say, hey, watch this. That's what I'm going to do. They're going to be like, what? I'm like, yeah, this is how we do it. Right down to the end, and how do you say that? Because I can't talk.
Endocannabinoid system.
Endocannabinoid system. Because that's what it's about. that's like an eye opener for me, and how this affects us, and how these products work with our bodies and our pets' bodies. This is blowing my mind. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, it's
This is
important to
awesome.
know why it works. Like,
Yeah.
the worst thing that I would hate to do to somebody and sell you this bottle of oil and just say, all right, take this. This is what's going to work for you. I rather somebody, be in knowledge of what it is, how it's going to work, why it's going to work. It's extremely important.
That's exactly how I have felt through all of this, and you just laid it out there for me. And I still have so much more to learn, but I just want to tell you thank you so much. I cannot wait to share this video. You guys are awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And
You're welcome.
the videos that are in your back office on each product, those are very helpful, and you can share those through a text, through an email, on your phone, and they're like 1-minute videos, and those are very helpful. And there's one on the endocannabinoid system also. And one other thing that I wanted to say before we got off tonight is, remember, we're not doctors. We cannot,
Right.
we can't prescribe this or tell somebody to quit taking their medications. But the only thing that we really have are testimonies that we either build for ourselves and or with our friends. And if you go on the Feel the Reaction or your back office, there's a great testimony page. And anytime that you get a testimony for yourself or for one of your friends, it would be awesome if you could give it to the company so they can post it.
Write up a little thing if you want to add a picture in there and send it to the company, because not only is that, helping you and your people, but also it's going to help any other person that could have the same issue, because it's going to be a lot easier. And that's one of the main things that I see with people that, are trying to share this product. I have people messaging me and putting me in group chat saying, hey, I have a lady that has a kid that has autism. Do you have any testimonies on it? Because they want to see if it's worked before and how it's worked. So how awesome it is for me to say, go to this page. This is the testimony, a kid I work with, and it's awesome. And why that is, because it's easier for them to see it, see the proof, see the pictures than me say it if they don't know me. Then again, or on top of that, it's going to be easier. So if you don't have a testimony for autism, oh, let me go look at the Feel the Reaction page. Oh, here's this amazing testimony on this little boy that's this old. So definitely testimonies is what this company is built off of. So I always, suggest anybody that has any testimonies to share them.
Right.
So I do have one quick question. So do you recommend that I share the videos on my Life Simple about the endocannabinoid system, or can I share, is this on there?
It will be posted tomorrow. It's on the YouTube channel.
Okay.
So you can actually go on there and go share that one, or you can just share about the endocannabinoid system. This one had a little bit of everything. It had the difference in what the endocannabinoid system is, ReAction products, the different types of CBD oils, which is really important as well, knowing about the different types of CBD. You're going to find people that said, oh, I tried it, but it's CBD, but it doesn't work. Well, you could have had the wrong product.
I heard that a lot.
Either way, yeah. You can either do that, but I always tell everybody, feel free to reach out to either me or Lindy or your upline if you have any people that, these videos aren't answering their questions, which usually they will answer all questions. But if you guys need to reach out to us, somebody will put our emails in the chat bar. Or you can find us on Facebook or reach out to us personally if you have our numbers.
Or if you have somebody that's talking to you and you just need one of us to help you to explain the products or talk to them about a situation that they might have, you are more than free and welcome to call us and ask us.
I know where to find all of you ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, I have reached out. I've spoken to all of you. Victoria, I spoke to you personally at the meeting. I've seen all you ladies out there. It's Denise Shannon, the hairdresser. Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah. Yes. So I'm excited about it. Thank you for everything.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna turn my power voice off now.
Hey, I got one question. Can you guys hear me?
TJ.
TJ, hey, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Lindy, Victoria, good seeing your faces. I miss you guys. Wish I was still back in North Carolina there.
Oh, me too.
But I got a question. I've had a couple questions asked to me about how does the product, does it affect any specific medications that you're on, or
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
have you ever heard of anybody saying that it has an adverse reaction to a specific type of medication? Because I know a lot of people on blood pressure and cholesterol and
Yep.
all the other orals that people are on these days for their life.
I see they're having-
But and I never want to tell people to replace what they're doing with ReAction, but to utilize it until they see that maybe they can be off of it one day. So
Yep. So we actually talked about this the first meeting that we had, and I think we should probably go over it again because that is a very big question that a lot of people ask you. But the number one thing that I got to say before I explain this, I'm not a doctor, and you cannot take my advice as a medical professional. But you should treat CBD and these ReAction products like a vitamin. That is what I tell everybody. You are not going to OD on it. There is no side effects to it. It's just replenishing your body of something that it's lacking. But
that's what I think.
Yeah, but one of the things is with certain medications, there has been no proven studies or anything like that it's going to interfere with any medication that you're on. But one thing I do tell people to pay attention to, so I'm going to use blood pressure, for example. So if you're taking a blood pressure medication because you have high blood pressure and it, lowers it to make it regulated, these ReAction products and CBD in general is a natural blood pressure lower your blood pressure. So when you're taking the ReAction products, that could lower your blood pressure, and then you take a medication on top of that and it lowers it too much, you're going to get the opposite effects and your blood pressure is going to be too low. So what I tell people is whenever you start taking them, you usually people with blood pressure have the machines and everything, just keep track of it just to make sure that your blood pressure is at a good level and that you're not overdoing it. And I always recommend, if you are on other medications, to stay taking the medication while taking these products. And if you notice a great difference, so if you're taking anxiety medication, you're saying like, this is a huge difference, I love I don't get a bad reaction with this and it's doing great for me, stay on it for at least a month to 2 months and then ask your doctor how to come off the medication, because there's a lot of medication out there that your doctors don't tell you are dangerous to come off of. So I always suggest asking your doctor how to come off of them. And that's one of the big things. So, I mean, you don't have to tell somebody, ask your doctor if you should take CBD. No, I never say that. You're going to have some doctors that say, nope, because legally they actually can't tell you to take CBD because, of course it's not approved. But they can't, and some doctors aren't going to do that because, they haven't researched it or learned about it themselves. And there's some doctors that will say, can't say anything, but you should try it. So I always suggest having, people say, I'm going to be taking this, if you want to tell your doctor, tell them I'm taking this product. Here's a certificate of analysis. If you want to know more about it, ask me.
Perfect.
Yeah, but don't ever tell somebody to quit taking their medication.
No, that seems like a given. I don't think that this is the cure for anything except for your life eventually, but it's not an immediate cure.
Remember, when you're taking this product, when you take the dropper, for example, the tincture, and you take it, just by taking the product doesn't go in and fix. What it does, it goes to your endocannabinoid system and makes your endocannabinoid system work efficiently.
Repair.
That's where the real thing is. That's where your body's healing itself. When you get those receptors that kind of look like two pistons, you get those to work correctly, then you'll start noticing your anxiety might be going down, your inflammation. Because a lot of times, and now that I'm telling you this, you might notice it. If you get into a situation where anxiety gets up, for whatever reason that is, you'll notice that your body tenses up. Maybe if you have arthritis, that your arthritis hurts worse when you're upset. Stress and anxiety can cause inflammation. And inflammation can be very dangerous if you don't take care of it, because that's kind of one of the things that goes. If it gets really bad, it can give you the arthritis. It can give you disease. So now that I've told you that, you'll probably notice when you get upset with anxiety that your body might hurt. If we can get your endocannabinoid system working correctly, that should help with that and ease that that pain off.
Yeah. And then we just got a testimony from Ronnie saying he was on blood pressure medication for years, and he started taking ReAction, and he monitored it, and now he's off of all of his blood pressure medication. All he does is ReAction products, which is an awesome.
Bravo.
Yes. And I know there's a lot more to Ronnie's testimony than just the blood pressure medication, along with what 8 ibuprofen a day, probably more.
Well, exactly.
But I mean, that alone, that's a huge testimony just on blood pressure alone, getting off those medications of having to take a pill every day, because there's a lot of people that is more of a mental thing for them. If there isn't any more questions or testimonies anybody wants to share, I do want to tell everybody that there is another meeting coming up. I know we talked about it last time. We did a women's meeting, and it was absolutely amazing. There was great response. Sorry for all the men that couldn't be there. But we ended up having a great response. A lot of people, getting great information. So we decided to do a his and her meeting, so you can be both female and guys. And I always suggest bringing somebody there. And it's not a ReAction meeting, but it is explaining, anxiety, stress, what certain things can do to your body, being a caregiver, and how important anxiety and stress is to your body, getting sleep, not having anxiety, and what it can do to you. So the main thing is, are you mentally coping with it? Or are you actually doing something about those issues that you're having? It's going to be December 4th. It's going to be at Langtree at Lake Norman. So it's right off of exit 31. For anybody that can, is local, that can come and show up to it. It is going to be awesome. I always suggest sharing this with your downline, bringing people that want to know about it, and we'll go a little bit over everything, the different CBD oils, what to look for when buying something, and why we do have a superior product over others.
There's going to be some guest speakers. There's going to be a counselor there, pharmacists, and some other speakers they're lining up, and it's called His Stress, Her Stress. So it's going to kind of talk about the daily issues that men and women face together and or separate. And it should be very inspirational and very informational.
Yeah, it was definitely. I had a blast last time, so I think it will be fun. It's something you can bring some people to. Last night we had some treats and wine there for everybody, just to warm up a little bit. So you can bring as many people as you want to. It's going to be nice, and it's open for questioning. And I think I can see Billy giving his tincture to his pig. Here we go, Billy.
All right, it is.
He loves it.
They love it. So don't be afraid to share this with your furry loved ones. I just share that. Just go out and try it. See how your pets like it. Cooper, he's not a big fan of just taking a straight tincture. I have to put it on his food. Cash, on the other hand, he'll just suck it right up. So I'd love to hear you guys' testimonies on how you're sharing this with your pets. I read some stuff on Facebook that was people giving capsules or tinctures and doing different methods to it. Everybody's a little bit different, so please share that with everyone.
Yeah, that video that Rachel's got on with her giving it to her dog, she ought to see them slurp that up.
I know, and I think Vicky posted one too about her dog eats it right up. My cat, she doesn't take anything in her mouth, but she loves it. She licks it off the plate and stuff. If I drop it a little bit on her plate, she licks around it. So she loves it too. It doesn't taste bad. But all right, I think that's
Hey
it.
ladies, it's Rachel. I just wanted to say something about the pet line. Yes, you know what we do. We have 3 trailer shepherds. And I gotta tell you, I think in general, most pets are pretty smart, you know, like humans. And it's ironic that two of the three Shilohs, and they all weigh around 120 a piece, right? So they're big boys. And one is really our hippie dog, we call him, our middle one, and very picky. And if he knows the oldest one who loves the tincture, and even will take a capsule, by the way, without nothing. Like, I mean, he's like, give it to me. But our middle one is like running over, like, give me some of that. He's a real picky one. Our youngest one's like, yeah, just give me that capsule and cheese. But what I wanted to tell you that I've observed with our oldest one is, and you've seen, I know I owe you guys some testimonials, so I'll try to get to that this weekend. But before the pet line came out, I started putting the Revive on. The oldest one has a couple of calloused elbows. Big breed dogs, if they lay on hard floors, like they like cold floors, they get that. It's not dangerous in general, but so I was applying the Revive, and he didn't fight it, but he was like, what are you doing to me? You know, squirting the Revive on his elbow. It's to the point now where he jumps on the bed at night and waits for me to put the Revive, on his elbow. Like, he props himself up. I'm not kidding. Like, okay, please put this on. And then I put it on, and then he jumps down. It's like,
that is funny.
They are so smart. It's like they know we're giving them something good. So I don't know what else to say other than I just look at him going, really?
That's funny.
That's funny, and I had to share it. So, all right.
Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, Rachel.
Alrighty, guys. I don't think there's any more questions. I don't see. So just another reminder, definitely, go to the Feel the Reaction pages and check out those new meetings that are coming up. If you can make it, that would be awesome. I promise you it will be worth it. And go on your back office, go to the Feel the Reaction page and check out the testimonies, share your testimonies, and check out the new YouTube video and where you can find the Zoom videos. Definitely, if anybody's missing any, just let them know, send it to people. But knowing about these products are really important, and knowing about how it's going to work for you and why it works. So if that's it, thank you, guys.
This also isn't next week's Thanksgiving, right? Isn't Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
We're not going to be doing the Zoom next Wednesday because that's the night before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you're right.
So we probably won't be doing the Zoom next Wednesday because I know that
we have a lot of baking to do.
And maybe, not just maybe, we might try to make that pumpkin pie that infused with FSC. And if we do that, we'll try to do it on Facebook Live. So that might be something, but we'll be baking on that night. So we'll do the Zoom the following week. So I just wanted to let you know.
We'll message you guys with updates if we, plan something different. But for right now, we're scatterbrained. So we'll figure it out as we go.
That's how we roll.
Yep.
That's how we roll.
Well, thank you guys for joining again. And if you guys have any questions, just reach out to us.
Thank you. Good night.